Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Morgan Vaughan. It is Facts at 5 on Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. And I am here with Chrissy Sampson, a reporter from the East Hampton Star. Thank you very much, Chrissy, again.
Hello.
Okay, so Facts at 5 is a daily news program that we started about 3 weeks ago, and what we've been dealing with mostly is the coronavirus, obviously, because that is what is affecting everyone. We want ultra-local news, and that's what we're bringing to you. Chrissy, let's start with what you have for the first story.
Sure. Our top story is about education and what OLA, Organización Latinoamericana of Eastern Long Island, is doing to give kids a boost right now.
Excellent.
Thanks to a donor, and he's helped OLA provide 1,000 Chromebooks, as well as many Wi-Fi hotspot devices, to kids so that they can have continuity of education. A lot of the kids have not had their own laptop,
right,
particularly the littler ones. So a lot of those Chromebooks are going to Bridgehampton, Springs, Greenport, different Hampton Bays, different districts where the kids, some school districts already have a bring your own device program, also give kids their own device to take home that belongs to the school. They just take it home every day. But for the younger ones, the elementary grades normally don't have access to that every day at school. So now they've got their own.
That's incredible.
It's thanks to this donor, at OLA. And, it's really made a difference.
Well, I remember that when my son started at the high school, he got a Chromebook. But then my husband and I were like, but then you have to have Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it's sort of leveling the field, but then it isn't. So this is amazing that they also get the Wi-Fi help. And I know that Minerva Perez, who's the executive director, was talking about this. I saw her post on Facebook, and she made a point of saying this is not just Latinos who are benefiting. This is all the kids.
Right.
This is about everybody.
It is about everybody. They are not, singling anybody out. They are providing broad strokes of assistance. And, because the thing about the Wi-Fi particularly is that with the Altice offer of free Wi-Fi for 60 days in light of the COVID epidemic, but there were conditions attached to that. You couldn't just have it automatically. You had to be a new customer.
Right.
You couldn't have had any defaulted bills recently. And, that could make it challenging for some people to access that service.
Right.
So now this is even a bigger boost.
And add to that where there is free Wi-Fi in town is closed off because the libraries are closed and and Starbucks is closed. So this is an amazing thing. We congratulate Ola and all the kids who are going to benefit from this.
And thank you. Thank you as well.
Thank you. It's amazing. Okay, so every day we've been doing statistics. It is, we want to make sure that people really understand what's going on. It's not always fun to talk about these statistics. In Suffolk County, we have over 36,000 COVID tests have been administered, and 43.6% of those tested were confirmed positive for COVID-19. Unfortunately, last night, 323 individuals passed away, and they're in the last. I'm sorry. Did I mess something up?
Correct.
Oh, we do have a correction?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
It's not 323 individuals in one night. That is now the total.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yes.
So that's actually 60?
It's around 60.
Okay.
And
thank God.
yes.
I was reading that going, oh, for heaven's sake.
No, that total of 300, a little over 300 is the total number. And what's interesting is that today is exactly 1 month since the first confirmed case in Suffolk County was reported.
Oh my gosh.
So, the press news group, the Express News Group 27 East broke that story on March 8th.
Wow.
And it was a really interesting turn of events because before that, it had not been in Suffolk County confirmed yet. It's just a month ago.
So unbelievable.
The 17,000 confirmed cases from 1 to 17,000 in the span of a month.
Wow.
That really tells you something about the nature of this contagious virus.
That is unbelievable. And in East Hampton is 74 cases confirmed, and Southampton 230, Riverhead 171. And one of the reasons that I think that I jumped to that 320 is because I read the article in the New York Times today where everybody was really hopeful that the coronavirus outbreak would sort of level off. But unfortunately, that did not happen last night. The Times is reporting a spike in deaths across New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. 5 weeks since the coronavirus outbreak arrived in the region, officials in New York and New Jersey, the two states hit hardest by the pandemic, hoped that the number of related deaths had peaked and would flatten or drop for a third straight day. That did not happen. Do you have anything extra to say about that? I can't.
It's hard to hear every day because and Steve Bellone, our Suffolk County executive, he made this point this afternoon that every one of those statistics has a face attached to it,
Exactly.
a name. It's a person, somebody's mother, grandmother, sister, daughter, husband. They're a real person and it's an issue.
And people can't be with them. That's just the heartbreaking part for me. Last night I was driving home, and I drove down Egypt Lane, and I literally had to practically honk my horn to get through the crowds of people walking. I hope that people if they're going to do that, I get it, you need to have some exercise, but when you get home, take off your shoes outside, clean off everything, and we need to really buckle down and get through this.
Right. This is not the time to return to what we used to do.
Right.
It's a time to be more vigilant.
I know. We just want it to be over. It's completely human and understanding. Okay, school news.
So this week, the New York State Board of Regents, they're the group that oversees education in New York State, along with the education department itself. They decided to cancel the June administration of the Regents exams.
Wow.
I cannot remember a time that this has happened. I mean, there's always been the Regents exam at the end of the school year. But they did that because it's still not known exactly when classes will resume as they used to, be on campus in-person classes. Now they're online. And out of concern and fairness for the students of New York, this decision was made because it's not necessarily... the state had to approve every school district's education plan for distance learning, but they may not all be equal.
Oh, right.
So, it's a matter of access and equality and leveling the playing field. You don't want to take a June Regents exam when you haven't seen your teacher in 4 or 5 months.
Right.
So, the seniors will still graduate. The word on the news desk is that the kids have to worry about passing the class.
Okay.
Focus on your grades in the class, and you will advance your grade. You will get your graduate because you need a passing grade in the class now that there's no Regents exam to cap off the year.
Wow. And everything also, these seniors, these poor kids don't get to have the kind of side benefits of their senior year.
The fun, the pomp and circumstance.
I mean, usually I think the graduation is around the 27th of June, so maybe they'll be able to do something. Who knows? Maybe somebody will have to think of something very clever and do something virtual. I don't know. It's too bad, though.
It's really, and everyone is impacted from the kids up to the senior citizens. It's not discriminating.
It is not. And we're all so entwined. We're all involved. You touch one thing and everything else falls over. Okay, now we have a little financial news, which is really, I think, can be really good for some people, which is that if you're fortunate enough to have an IRA, the 10% penalty for taking early distributions from qualified retirement plans, including IRAs and 401ks, is waived due to the CARES Act. So the waiver applies to distributions taken between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2020. So you can take up to $100,000 of distribution. But here's the great part. So you won't have the 10% penalty. Then the mandatory 20% income tax withholding for rollover distributions is suspended. And you can take time, so you don't have to pay income tax on it, and you can pay it back over 3 years. So say that you are struggling right now and you have $20,000 in your IRA. You have the option right now of taking out $5,000 to pay off some present bills and not have the penalty. That's pretty huge, awesome news.
I agree. That's all I have to say.
If you're
I
lucky
agree.
enough to have that in the first place. Okay, so yesterday we talked a little bit about the East End rental season, and I think there was some more news about that yesterday.
Sure. Now, first it was Southold Town. Now it's Southampton Town. Supervisor Jay Schneiderman sent out a press release saying that their Ordinance Enforcement Division is going to be cracking down on short-term rental violations.
Wow.
So basically, right now in Southampton, you will get a fine if you are a landlord renting a place for less than 2 weeks. You will also get a fine if you post a new listing.
Okay.
And one of the, in addition to a fine, you can also have your rental permit revoked.
Wow.
So, and that's a whole other process of reobtaining
Right.
that rental permit. We have similar rental permit laws here in East Hampton.
Right.
But, this is key for Southampton because we've had that influx of people. It's not a rumor at this point. We've all experienced it. We've all seen it in action. And now, I think that the East Hampton Press and Southampton Press had further news on it.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Where's that one?
The Airbnb.
Oh, yes.
The East End rental season has surged early.
Right.
And the Airbnb statistics.
This is what cracked me up about this, was showcasing over 300 possible Hampton 5-day stays. So it's utterly against the quarantining.
It's
idea.
against the quarantine. It's against the rental permit laws.
It's everything.
And it's also, not the greatest time to take a vacation, everyone.
No, it's not. It's not about taking a vacation though, but then you end up in potentially spreading it around to a community that doesn't have a whole lot of resources and volunteers, as your EMTs. So, I think that's really interesting. I definitely want to follow that. Okay, good news. The Guildhall 82nd Artist Members Exhibition, which they have every it's annual. is available online for view and for sale. And I just looked at the website. It is shop.guildhall.org, and it is beautiful. You can see all the artwork. You can buy art, and you can support Guildhall.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you, and this is a silly question, but it's important, can you zoom in on the works? Can you increase the resolution and look at it closer? Because a lot of times, you have to stand far back in an exhibition, and I don't know how close you can get to actually examine the details. And, I would love to know, I'll check it out myself.
Yeah, check it out. But I think that, when I was viewing individual pieces, but I didn't click on them to make, sure about
zoom
that.
in.
I looked at the whole thing just to see how they were doing it. So yeah, let's check up on that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And a lot of people have a lot, look forward to that every year. So I'm so excited it's online. A little programming note, the April 9th, tomorrow, Architectural Review Board meeting will be at 3 o'clock. So they're changing when the meetings are. So this is the live East Hampton Town Architectural Review Board meeting, 3 o'clock, and it will be held via video conferencing, and we will have it on LTV at that time.
Channel 22.
Channel 22. Anything else?
We have
yeah.
a new feature on our website on LTV that we are very proud of.
And we have forgotten to tease this every single day. So go ahead.
We
tease
have
away.
a new blog. It is contributed by staff members here at LTV, throwing in ideas, passing along good news. And we would love for you to check it out. Go to ltveh.org, and there's a bar at the top. It's blog. You'll be able to find it, and we hope you enjoy it.
And we talked to the supervisor about public access. There's a bunch of little interesting things. I really love public access, so I'm encouraging people to learn about it because it's one of the most amazing, crazy things that we have access to
And it's
in this
more
town.
it's honestly more of a privilege than a right these days, and you can learn all about that on our
It's
blog.
so interesting. And if you go to other communities, they do not have what we have here with LTV. We're very blessed. We want to thank the town of East Hampton, the village of East Hampton, and the LTV board for that as well, because they really keep us going. So yesterday we talked about the groceries and the takeout. Tomorrow, we have gotten a lot of responses.
Oh,
so
that's great.
What we're
That's
going to
so
do
great.
is we're going to compile all those, get them on our website and have that available tomorrow. So be able to have one place where you can go to see where you can get groceries, where you can get the curbside. And so we'll be working on that for tomorrow on the website. It won't be up tonight. Anything else?
I just hope everybody continues to stay safe, healthy, and wash your hands.
And stay home. Thank you very much.